Hello friends, and welcome back to Sunshine and Serenity. Today I'm going to show you how I trellis my tomatoes. So if you're ready to see my trellising system, let's go! As always, if you will take a moment to hit that like and subscribe button and hit the notifications, leave a comment below. It helps our channel grow and we would greatly appreciate it. So have you ever grown indeterminate tomatoes? If you have, you know they get so tall, right? Sometimes they can get 7-8 feet tall. So just how do you trellis and deal with tomatoes? They get super tall to where you can plant them closer together in a smaller space and have more overall production. Well, I'm going to show you the trellising system that I'm using for my indeterminate tomatoes this year. First off, I'm going to tell you what you're going to need is you're going to need some of these hooks right here. I got these from Lowe's, Home Depot. You can get them anywhere like that. So you need some of these hooks. Also, a disclaimer, you do need some kind of support system attached to your raised bed. So I will show you my support system. My husband actually made it out of fencing panels and some excess scrap wood that we have, but you can make your frame however you want, out of PVC pipe, whatever is easiest and most cost effective for you. But after you have your support system, this is what you're going to need to do the trellising system. So you're going to need some of these hooks. Now these are just the little plant screw-in hooks right like that. You are also going to need something to make your holes to where you can start the screws to screw them in. I did this completely by myself today, by the way. It is possible. You're going to need some plant clips or some tape, something just to be able to clip your tomato plants onto the string trellis system that I'm going to show you. And then you're going to need some of these. Now these are tomato string trellising hooks, and I will link down below where I ordered mine online and had them shipped to me. But these are what you're going to use to support your tomatoes. So if you're ready to see the process, let's head over to the tomato plants. Okay, so this is where I am growing my tomato plants right here, and as you can see, this is the trellising system that my husband actually made for me. So he made it out of some deck board, some extra scrap wood, and this is what he came up with right here. And that is what we are going to use to help tomato trellis our tomatoes. Okay, so the first step that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find where your tomato plants are growing in relation to your support, and you're going to want to screw one of these hooks right above each of your tomato plants. This is what you are going to hook on your tomato line hooks with, and this is what is going to allow the tomato to continue to grow up. So that is the first step. You're going to put these little hooks above each and every tomato plant that you are growing. So that is step number one. Okay, step number two is you are going to take the loose end of your tomato string and you are going to tie it around the base of your tomato plant. So you're going to tie it around right at the base where it meets the soil, and you're just going to make a nice little kind of loose knot. You don't want it super tight because your tomato plant stems will expand, but you do want it to be secure to the bottom of your tomato plant. So that is going to be step number two. Okay, so I have tied my tie onto the base of my tomato plant just right down here, and I'm going to cut off the excess after I string this up. So step number three is to take the other part. Okay, so step number three is to take the other part of your tomato trellising system, which is this little hook, and you're going to loosen just enough string to where you can hook it up on that hook above. And I'm going to show you what that looks like now. Okay, so now that you have your hook hooked up here, this is how it should look, and it goes all the way down to the tomato plant. You see how that's supported all the way down, just like that. Now as this tomato grows taller, you're going to be able to continue to take this off, unwind it, and give it some more room to grow and re-hook it. So it is essentially a trellising system that you can continue to support the plant as it gets taller and taller. So once you get your tomato plant attached, tied to the string, the next step is to support it with some sort of tomato clips, ties, something like that. You are going to clip it or support it to the string itself. So this is what that's going to look like. Okay, so now that we have the string attached to the upper trellis, we are going to support our plant with clips. So what we're going to do is I'm just take these little tomato clips right here, and I will just clip the string to the tomato plant ever so often to make sure that it is supported. So this is important because this keeps the plant actually attached to your trellising system, and this is what actually helps keep the plant supported. So you see, no matter how much the wind blows, the string comes with it, so it is fully supported and it's able to stand upright. So I'm going to do that to all these tomatoes. I'm going to do a time lapse so you can see me tie all those up, and then at the very end I'll show you what it looks like. All right. Okay, so this is what the trellising system looks like, completely finished. And you can see that even on the bottom of these tomato plants, even blowing in the wind, they are supported because they are attached to this string trellis. So it's going to give them the support that they need. Now this is for only your indeterminate tomatoes, because I do prune my indeterminates tomatoes down to a single stem to allow more airflow, and so I can put more tomato plants in a smaller space. But if you are doing determinate tomatoes, you don't want to do this system, because determinate tomatoes, they like to bush out and you don't prune those. So this is a determinate tomato and I just staked that, or you can use tomato cages for your determinate tomatoes. I have some tomato cages as well. But this makes a really great system if you're wanting something to where you can fit a good amount of tomato plants in a smaller raised bed space to get more production. This is a great system to use, and it's something that can be reused over each year over and over again, and it can continue to grow as the plants grow. So that is the trellising system that I am trying out this year for my indeterminate tomatoes, or some of my indeterminate tomatoes rather. I didn't have enough box space to put all of them in there, so I am growing a bunch in pots. But this is just one of many methods that you can use to trellis your tomatoes to allow them to continue to grow and flourish and produce more, and be able to have the space to do that. So if you try this method out, let me know what you think of it. This is my first year using this method. If you try this method out, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. If you use another method of tomato trellising, let me know that in the comments as well. I always love to hear how everybody is gardening and doing their growing season. So if you liked it, give it a like and a thumbs up and a follow. As always, it is garden season. We will be doing much more garden tours, tips, tricks, videos. So if you like that, make sure you follow me so you don't miss any content. And I hope you friends have a wonderful and blessed rest of your week and weekend. It is probably going to storm again today. It stormed yesterday. We are having quite the bit of rain and thunderstorms here in Central Arkansas, Zone 7. So that's always fun, right? So I wanted to get out here and trellis my tomatoes before we get any high winds, and I wanted to take you guys along with me. So if you guys enjoyed it, I thank you for joining me and learning about my tomato trellising system. Happy growing, friends. Bye.